It's a game called Decrypto. In Decrypto, you are rival teams of spies. You are trying to transmit a message to the other spies on your team without that secret coded message being intercepted by the other team. So what's going to happen is you're going to have two teams. You're going to have a white team and a black team. What's going to happen, each team is going to get a board. They have these different cards. You're each going to pull cards, and you're going to slide them into the slot on your board like so that you're going to have 4 words in position 1, 2, 3, and 4. White team, you guys can see your words. Black team can see their words. You obviously don't want to let the other team see your words. Each turn, one of you is going to be giving a clue to their teammates. They're going to be giving an encrypted clue. What they're going to do is they're going to pull a card from the top of the deck. So each one has a deck that corresponds to their team's color. So they're each going to pull a card. I pulled 1, 2, 4. Let's say I'm the one giving the clues. My teammates are the one guessing. They would not see this card. So I now need to get my team to guess 1, 2, and 4 in that order. So I need them to guess painting, then comic book, and then weekends. Black team over here, they got 2 on 4, so they need their team to guess aquarium, then outer space, and then Egypt. So what I would do is I would give my team a clue, where each clue corresponds with a different one of these things. And my hope is that that clue would be clear enough that because they know which words are out here, they would be able to guess which ones that I mean. But they're also vague enough that the other team can't really figure out what the words are. So maybe for painting, I might say something like picture. And so what I would do is I would write it down on this sheet of paper right here. For comic book, I might say something like fight. And for weekend, I might say something like relax. So again, hopefully the idea is these are clues that people can connect what I'm going for with what's on this board, but the other team can't figure it out. The black team codemaster is doing the exact same thing. They're going to write down words on their sheet. What's going to happen is whenever one of you comes up with your clues, you're going to start this sand timer, and the other team has until that sand timer ends to come up with their own clues. When you're done, you're going to start off. The white team is going to go first in round 1. In round 2, the black team is going to go first, and you're going to toggle back and forth. But the white team is going to go first. They're going to read their clues aloud. Picture, fight, relax. And then the team can look at what they've written on this sheet. And they now need to guess basically what number was on that person's card. So if they thought picture matched up with painting, they'd put a 1 here. If they thought fight matched up with comic book, they'd put a 2 there. If they thought relax matched up with weekend, they'd put a 4 there. Those same words that I just read, the black team is going to write down on their sheet. So each team has a white side to their sheet. This from before. It's a white side to their sheet, and they've got a black side to their sheet. So the black team is going to write down those same words: picture, fight, and relax. They're going to ignore this column for now, but it'll come up in future rounds. The codemaster for the white team is going to tell his team that they're either right or they're wrong. If they're right, they have successfully communicated the code, and all is good. If they've guessed incorrectly, they're going to get one of these black tokens. These are a miscommunication token. If at any point you have 2 black tokens, you lose the game. The other team is now going to know that picture, fight, and relax were either correct or incorrect. Let's say that they were all correct, as we've been saying in this example. So they would mark on their sheets that picture, fight, and relax are indeed 1, 2, and 4. And then they would do the same thing. So the teammates of the black team would try and guess which words the black team was thinking of. Now what's going to happen is on this sheet, you're going to write these words in under these numbers down here. So white team knows that picture is connected to the 1 spot, fight is connected to 2, relax is connected to 4, and you're going to do the same thing on the other sheet as well. Now we're going to do our second turn. The person giving the clues is going to rotate to the left, and they're going to give clues to their teammates. They're going to draw another card. That first card that you drew, that's going to get shuffled back into the deck, so it's possible you could draw that exact same card again. This person gets 3, 2, 1, and they're going to give a clue to their team. They can't use the clues that were used earlier. So now they've got to get planet, then comic book, and then painting. Let's say they give the clue Pluto for planets, which I know is not a planet. We'll say Jupiter for all of you people out there on the internet who want to complain. Comic book, they say Superman. And painting, they say Mona Lisa. So they're giving things that are a lot more linear. So what's going to happen is they're going to give their clues. When they give the clues this time, the black team is going to give their clues. But what's going to happen now is each team has an opportunity to intercept. So the black team knows that the white team is given Jupiter, Superman, and Mona Lisa as clues. So based on what came up earlier, they have to try and guess what these different clues might be pointing them to. So, for example, earlier we know that item number 1 was described as a picture. Maybe that's going to be what Mona Lisa is referring to. We know that number 2 said fight. Maybe that's what Superman's going to be referring to. We know that number 4 was relax. Maybe that's what Jupiter's referring to, but it's kind of tough to imagine. Maybe the word Jupiter refers to the one that they don't know. So the black team would write in what their guess is. Let's say they thought that Jupiter was the third one, Superman was the second one, Mona Lisa was the first one. They would say their guess out loud, and the white team would say their guess out loud. If the black team is correct in their guess, they get one of these. This is an intercept token. Again, the white team is making their guess. It's possible that the black team can get it right and the white team can get it wrong, and they could get one of these miscommunication tokens. But if the white team gets it correct, then they wouldn't get a miscommunication token. And so the white team would have it marked as correct for guessing correctly, and the black team would get that intercept token. The white team then gets to guess what they think is the card for the black team. So each round after the first one, you get to guess what the other team's card is at the same time that that person's teammates are also guessing what the card is. And anytime you're correct, you're going to get an intercept token. If you're correct twice, you have 2 intercept tokens, then you win the game. So again, you want your clues to be clear enough that you don't get to 2 miscommunication tokens and you lose. But you also want them to be vague enough that the other team, as they're getting more and more information about what your cards are, that they can't intercept and figure out what your numbers are on your card. So like I said, you're going to go back and forth, and you're going to go until one team has 2 miscommunication tokens, or one team has 2 interception tokens. If there's a tie, which could happen if one team has 2 interception tokens or 2 miscommunication tokens at the same time, or both teams get their second interception token at the same time, or both teams get their second miscommunication token at the same time, or you play through all 8 rounds. The game is 8 rounds long. You get to the end of the 8th round, and you still don't have a winner. Then you do the tiebreaker. Here's the way the tiebreaker works. You count up the points. An interception token is worth +1 points. A miscommunication token is worth -1 point. Team with the most points wins. If there's still a tie, each team tries to guess their opposing team's 4 key words. Teams with the most correct answers prevails. If it's still a tie, then ultimately the game ends in a tie. There are a few key rules about the clues you can give your team. I'll just read them straight from the book. You can choose whatever form you want your clues to take. So they can be a single word, a sentence. You can even hum or dance or mime your clue if you want to. You want to make sure it's very clear which of your clues is which one. So you want to separate out each of them. So basically there should be no confusion about whether it's your first, your second, or your third clue. The clues have to refer to the meaning of the key words. So they could never refer to the spelling. I can't give C as a hint for cursed. They can't refer to the number of letters. I can't give 8 or 8 letters as a hint for scorpion. Can't refer to the position of the card on the screen, and it can't refer to the pronunciation. So I can't give face as a clue to make my team guess place. Clues have to be based on information that is publicly available. So it could be an obscure fact, but as long as that fact is something that everyone knows, it qualifies. But you can't say something that's based on an inside joke between you and your partner who are on the same team. So it has to be something that theoretically the other team could have a shot at getting. I personally would suggest the house rule that if there's one team which all has one obscure set of knowledge that they all know, and the other team doesn't, maybe they all follow the same sports team, then I would say that's also a good thing to say you can't include that in your clues, just because then it allows that other team to always use something that is a code that's sort of impenetrable. But it's up to you. If you're asked, you must spell out your clues. Any information you give to your team, you have to give to the opposing team as well. You can't change, modify, or improve a clue once you finish reading it out loud. You can never use the same clue more than once per game. You can never read out the code on the code card or use the keywords themselves as clues. It also specifies you can't use them in another language as clues. That's how you play Decrypto. Enjoy.